Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm at Metcalf, and it is my Sunday morning conscious eating, conscious living chat. And today we are following through with our clothing textile chats. We've talked about hemp and bamboo. We've actually even looked at banana stalks, I believe, and that's making its way into the textile market. We're looking at cotton. Cotton's been around for centuries. I like my cotton shirts. And how about you? Is cotton one of your favorites? Cotton's been around for 7,000 years, growing in warm, dry places. First, its name, via the Anglo French Old Italian from the Arabic word for cotton, pronounced coton. And did you know that it's not a flower, but more akin to a dandelion? Yes, it produces a fruit called a boll, spelled Boll, and the white cotton ball we know is inside. And after 6 months, each plant contains, on average, 15 to 20 bolls, and each boll contains, oh my gosh, 500,000 cotton fibers. That's a lot. Original uses, they made ropes out of it, and then yarn, and of course, then that uh, became clothing. And scientists have found bits of cotton bolls and pieces of cotton cloth at least 2,500 years old in Mexico. And in Pakistan, cotton was being grown, spun, and woven into cloth around 3000 BC. So that's from our timeline, over 5,000 years ago. Arab merchants brought cotton cloth to Europe about 800 AD. By 1500, cotton was known throughout the world. Of the 50 known species of cotton, only 4 varieties have been domesticated for their fiber. Two from the Americas, one from southern Africa, and the other from India. An interesting fact I learned was that originally there was natural colors of cotton besides the white we know today. Natural colors of cotton were mocha, tan, gray, and red-brown from Indo-Pakistan, Egypt, and Peru. With the advent of the Industrial Revolution, only the white cotton was used because of its longer fibers that could be used in the machines. The others disappeared until Sally Fox of the United States, a pioneer in the revival of the colored cottons, began her work in 1988 to create the natural cotton colors. This link explains the history and the details of why the natural fibers are slowly making a comeback. And I'll put that in the Facebook link. The advantages of the natural colors include it doesn't have to be dyed or bleached. It can be grown organically because it has a high resistance to insects and diseases, much like our hemp. And it can be made by avoiding some of the chemical treatments. This environmental benefit will likely create more demand for natural fibers in the future. Turkey is one of the leading countries in the world for the production of naturally colored cotton. There is a hypothesis that pigments and naturally pigmented cotton fibers protect the embryonic cotton seeds from the UV radiation of the sun. So scientists are safely assuming um, that some fibers also do the same for the human body. This, of course, needs to be further researched. Why all the fuss about the manufacture of cotton? Conventional cotton is treated with harmful chemicals that can wreak havoc on the wearer, from rashes and itchiness to those with sensitive skin, and is also known as the carcinogens like formaldehyde that have been linked to cancer. And we're wearing that on our body, and the skin is our largest organ, and it absorbs everything. And so we need to think about what we're actually putting on our bodies. And some of the harsh additives are heavy metals, ammonia, formaldehyde, petroleum, chlorine, and phthalates. Now, 3,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, they weren't processing cotton with those kind of chemicals. But our population is expanding. The demand for clothing is expanding, and so that's what's changed it over time. Cotton is mainly produced in dry, warm regions, but it needs a lot of water to grow. In some places, like India, inefficient water use means that up to 20,000 liters of water, and I don't know what that volume looks like, but that's a lot, are needed to produce 1 kilogram of cotton. Although cotton is naturally occurring fiber, its production is nevertheless haunted by claims of pollution, exploitation, and slavery. Yes, even today. Conventional cotton accounts for as much as 25% of global pesticide use in farming around the world. That's a quarter. That's a lot. These hazardous synthetic pesticides enter the local supply through runoff. That water is soaked up by plants and ingested by wildlife, threatening biodiversity and the natural environment. The most abundantly produced natural fiber in the world. It is estimated that 25 million tons of cotton are produced every year. And how has the use of GMO cotton affected these Indian farmers? A lot in the last decade or more. And when it comes to replanting, GMO, genetically modified organisms, cotton seeds have been modified with a Bt toxin to kill the bollworm, which destroys the crops. And these farmers were convinced by different chemical companies that they could have better crops by planting this Bt cotton. Well, that turned out not to be the case. And these Indian farmers um, lost their farm, their livelihood, and for thousands of them, a reason for living. And it's quite sad. And the cotton plants can't reproduce with this Bt, so the farmers have to keep buying new seeds every year. And they can't retain the seed because the GMO cotton plants don't seed themselves. So it's a very vicious circle. Genetically modified cotton seeds now account for 89% of the cotton planted in India. And by 2015, um, more than 10,000 Indian cotton farmers had died by suicide due to the debt incurred by purchasing seeds and the crops that failed with those seeds, with the promise that they that wouldn't happen. Why organic cotton? According to a study by Remake, hazardous pesticides applied during the cotton manufacturing, including petroleum, scours, heavy metals, flame retardants, ammonia, and formaldehyde, can also be detected on our clothes. So organic cotton isn't just better for the health of the people growing it, it's also better for you to wear. Let's compare. Organic cotton seeds are cheaper than BT cotton, the non organic versus the BT. Organic cotton farmers don't use any pesticides if they are certified organic. They use native insects that eat the smaller bugs, threatening to destroy the organic cotton, and the region remains biodiverse with a balance of insect life. Organic cotton goes hand in hand with fair trade standards, where it was produced in a safe work environment that treats workers fairly, and healthier for the farmers, the pickers, the soil, and the planet. In 2018, 36 major brands, including Adidas, ASOS, H&M, and Burberry, pledged to use 100% sustainable cotton by 2025. That's less than 2 years from now. And you as a consumer can hold these companies accountable to that promise. Manual picking of cotton, China still 100%, according to this research, handpicks its cotton harvest, as does India. Other major cotton producing countries that still use a large manual labor force for picking cotton, as it was done in America in the 1800s, include Pakistan, Turkey, and Brazil. According to the Textile Exchange, organic cotton emits 40% fewer greenhouse gas emissions than conventional cotton, simply by not using the nitrous dioxide releasing fertilizers and pesticides. and using fewer mechanized farming practices. And by virtue of being fertilizer and pesticide free, the soil also acts as a carbon sink, absorbing CO2 from the atmosphere. In 2013, so this is 11 years ago, over 110 billion bales of cotton were grown and processed. This amount varies from year to year, but is remaining relatively constant. China is not only the largest importer of cotton in the world, but also the largest producer of this agricultural product. As conscious living global citizens and consumers, what is your choice going to be? Yesterday, I purchased some hemp linen clothing made in Vancouver, where I live. The financial cost was much higher than what I normally pay for pants and a top. But at some point, I need to be true to my word. Perhaps I'll have fewer clothes that last longer. And I'm grateful that I can actually afford the higher price and support a movement to a cleaner and safer, more sustainable earth, more for our future generations. They also come to our picnic on earth. Why are we leaving a mess for them to clean up? So far, I've looked at hemp, bamboo, wool, banana stalks, and cotton for clothing, textiles. I'm not going to cover the other textiles, the household goods and that kind of thing. You can do your own research and let me know on the Facebook page. Linen might be my last chat, unless you know of another natural fiber we can explore. The future will hold many, many possibilities as we explore the natural world around us. So, you know what? Just have a beautiful day. Enjoy your Sunday. For some of you, it's Monday. And, as we think about being conscious eaters and living consciously, what can we do in our daily lives? And can we always buy organic cotton and all these other fibers? No, not necessarily. But you know what? It's small steps. And we can do that. And we can do that together. And, find out where we can reuse some of these fibers, how they can be recycled. And I don't mean by sending them off to Africa, because that's not recycling. That's just giving somebody else our problem. But how can they be composted, decomposed, recycled? It's all about the circularity of life, of what we use on the planet. And how can we become part of that circularity? Namaste. Blessings to all of you, and just have just a beautiful, enjoyable day as you go about your day being more joyful, more mindful, more loving, more patient. Patience is a big one for all of us. Me too. Until next time, thank you.